The reflection staring back at me in the full-length mirror feels like a stranger. I smooth down the ivory silk of my wedding dress for the 100th time, trying to quiet the thundering in my chest. This should be the happiest moment of my life. Instead, my stomach is a nest of writhing snakes. Amy, you look absolutely perfect. Claire adjusts my veil, her smile bright, but her eyes searching mine. She's known me long enough to sense when something's off. Everything okay? I force my lips into what I hope passes for a smile. Just nerves. But it's more than that. The gnawing dread that's been growing for weeks has become a roar I can't ignore. Felix has been different lately, distant, distracted, always on his phone. I've been telling myself it's just wedding stress, just work pressure, just my imagination. The bridal suite door bursts open, and my mother Danielle sweeps in, already frowning. The florist mixed up the centerpieces, but I handled it. Amy, stand up straight, and for heaven's sake, stop fidgeting with the dress. I drop my hands, feeling like a scolded child. The dress that cost more than my first car suddenly feels like it's choking me. Has anyone seen Peyton? Claire asks. She was supposed to help with the final touches. My cousin, my maid of honor, the one person I trusted most after Felix. Maybe she's checking on the reception setup? I'll find her, Claire offers, squeezing my shoulder before slipping out. I check my phone again. No messages from Felix, which is weird. He usually sends me silly morning texts, especially on important days. The silence feels weighted. 10 minutes until we start, my mother announces, checking her watch. I'll go make sure your father is ready. Alone at last, I sink onto the vintage settee, careful not to wrinkle the dress. The suite feels too warm, too small. Through the window, I can see guests arriving, their laughter floating up like bubbles. A text notification breaks the silence. It's from Grayson, Felix's business partner. Where are you? My fingers hover over the keys. Grayson and I aren't close. Why would he? Another text. You need to come to the back office, now. Something in his tone makes my blood run cold. I stand, gathering the yards of silk and lace. The back office is just down the hall. I can check quickly and be back before anyone notices. The corridor's mercifully empty. My heels click against the hardwood as I approach the office door. It's slightly ajar, and I hear movement, breathing, a familiar laugh that stops me dead. We can't. Not here. Peyton's voice, breathless. Why not? It's perfect timing. Felix, my Felix. Once this farce is over, the world tilts sideways. I push the door open. They spring apart, but not fast enough. My cousin's lipstick is smeared. Felix's tie is loose, his collar unbuttoned. The sight burns itself into my retinas like looking directly at the sun. Amy! Peyton's face drains of color. This isn't. We were just. But Felix doesn't even try to lie. He straightens his tie, looking at me with something close to relief. Well, I suppose this saves us all some time. Time? My voice sounds far away, like it belongs to someone else. The merger was always the priority. The wedding was convenient cover. Your family's connections, your father's influence. He shrugs, and in that casual gesture, I see the truth of every doubt I've ignored. Peyton understood that. She's more practical. The room spins. I grip the doorframe, my knuckles white against the wood. How long? Amy, please. Peyton steps forward, reaching for me. How? Long? 8 months, Felix answers. Since the engagement party. A sound escapes me, half laugh, half sob. The engagement party, where Peyton had helped me pick out my dress, where Felix had promised forever. I was going to tell you, Peyton whispers. After what? The words taste like acid. After I watched you walk down the aisle as my maid of honor? After I said my vows to a lie? Footsteps in the hallway make us all turn. Grayson stands there, his expression grim. I tried to warn you sooner, but... He looks at Felix with undisguised disgust. The merger papers. The ones Amy was supposed to sign after the ceremony. They're not what you told her. Felix's face hardens. Stay out of this, Grayson. But Grayson steps closer, his voice low. Amy, if you want to know the whole truth, about the merger, about what they really planned, I can help. But we need to act fast. I look between them, my fiancé, my cousin, this man I barely know offering answers. The choice I make in this moment will change everything. And suddenly, through the tears and rage and heartbreak, I know exactly what I have to do. I sit in Grayson's office, still wearing my wedding dress, staring at the documents spread across his desk. My hands shake as I pick up another page, the legal jargon swimming before my eyes. The dress feels like a costume now, each rustle of silk a reminder of my humiliation. They were going to strip you of everything, Grayson explains, his voice tight. The merger agreement hidden in the wedding paperwork would have given Felix controlling interest in your family's company. Once you signed, I trusted him. The words taste bitter. I gave him access to everything, accounts, contracts, client lists. That's what he was counting on. Grayson slides another document toward me. Look at the date on this. He's been planning this for over a year. Before I can respond, my phone buzzes. Another message from my mother. Where are you? The guests are asking questions. Stop being dramatic and come back. I silence the phone, but not before seeing the missed calls from Peyton. The thought of her makes me physically ill. We need to move quickly, Grayson says. Felix will try to damage control. Spin this his way. He's probably already. The office door flies open. My mother storms in, face flushed with anger. Amy Elizabeth, what do you think you're doing? There are 300 people waiting. The wedding's off. My voice comes out stronger than I feel. Don't be ridiculous. Whatever happened, we can fix it. Do you know how much this day cost? What people will say? I laugh, the sound harsh and foreign. What people will say? Mom, Felix, and Peyton. I know. She cuts me off, her expression hardening. Peyton told me everything. She's very upset, says it was a moment of weakness. These things happen, Amy. Marriage isn't about fairy tales. The room goes very still. You knew? I suspected. But the merger is too important. Your father's company needs this. Sometimes we have to put aside personal feelings for the greater good. I stand slowly, the dress rustling like angry whispers. The greater good? He was going to steal everything from us. Show her, I tell Grayson. He hands my mother the documents. I watch her face change as she reads, color draining from her cheeks. This can't be right, she whispers. It is. And Peyton helped him do it. Your niece, my cousin, the person you told me to make my maid of honor. My mother sinks into a chair, papers clutched to her chest. For the first time in my life, she looks small. I have a plan, Grayson says quietly, but it's risky, and we'd need to act now, before Felix realizes what we know. What kind of plan? He glances at my mother before continuing. Felix has secrets, things that would destroy him if they came to light, but getting proof won't be easy, or legal. I don't care about legal anymore. The words surprise me, but I mean them. Amy, my mother starts, but I cut her off. No, you don't get to give me advice, not after this. I turn to Grayson. Tell me what we need to do. He pulls out a plane ticket. First, we make everyone think you've run away, fled the humiliation. Felix needs to believe he's won. While actually, we gather evidence, but it has to be clean, perfect. One mistake, and he'll destroy you. My mother stands abruptly. This is insane. Amy, come home. We'll figure something out. Like you figured out how to hide Felix's betrayal? Or how to convince me to marry a man you knew was sleeping with my cousin? I shake my head. Go back to the wedding, Mom. Tell everyone whatever story makes you feel better. She stares at me for a long moment, tears in her eyes. Then she straightens her shoulders, fixes her hair. The mother I recognize returning. Don't come crying to me when this falls apart. She walks out, closing the door firmly behind her. My hands are trembling again. Grayson notices, offers me a glass of water. "We don't have much time," he says. "Felix will check his office as soon as he realizes you're gone. If he finds out you saw those documents, why are you helping me?" His expression darkens. "Let's just say you're not the first person Felix has tried to destroy, but you could be the last." He holds up the plane ticket. "Are you in?" I look down at my wedding dress, at the ring still on my finger. Everything I thought I knew about love, family, trust, lies. But maybe that's what I needed. Maybe you can't see people's true faces until all the pretty illusions are stripped away. I pull off the ring, set it on Grayson's desk. "I'm in. Tell me everything." The hotel room in Chicago feels sterile. Anonymous. Exactly what I need right now. I've traded my wedding dress for jeans and a sweater, but I still feel exposed. My phone keeps lighting up with messages I'm not supposed to read, each one a reminder of the life I'm pretending to abandon. Grayson's plan is simple on paper. Let everyone think I'm having a breakdown, hiding in shame while Felix consolidates his power. Meanwhile, we gather evidence of his illegal dealings, proof that would not only stop the merger, but put him behind bars. I scroll through old photos, trying to spot the lies I missed. There's one from 6 months ago. Felix teaching Peyton to golf, his hands on her hips, adjusting her stance. I'd thought it was sweet, how well they got along. Now the memory makes me gag. A knock at the door makes me jump. "Room service." I open the door to find Claire instead of a hotel worker. My heart stops. "Did you really think I wouldn't figure out where you went?" She pushes past me into the room. "Your mom's telling everyone you had a nervous breakdown. Peyton's playing the concerned cousin, and Felix—" She pauses. "Felix is acting like he dodged a bullet." "Claire, you shouldn't be here. If anyone followed you—" "Please." "I took 3 different ride shares and doubled back twice." She sits on the bed. "Now tell me what's really going on, and why you're working with Grayson of all people." I hesitate. Claire's been my best friend since college, but involving her could put her at risk. Still, I need someone I can trust completely. "Felix was using me to steal my family's company," I say finally. "The merger, the wedding. It was all a con. And Peyton helped him do it." Claire's quiet for a long moment. I knew something was wrong. The way he changed after the engagement, how Peyton always seemed to know his schedule better than you did. She meets my eyes. "What do you need?" "You can't be involved. It's too dangerous." "Amy, I watched you plan a wedding to a man who was sleeping with your cousin. I'm already involved." She pulls out her laptop. "Besides, I still have access to the company's HR system from when I helped set up their benefits platform." My throat tightens. "Claire? Don't get sappy on me. Just tell me what we're looking for." Before I can answer, my phone buzzes. Grayson. "Emergency. Felix moved up the board meeting. They're voting on the merger tomorrow." "That's impossible," I whisper. "The paperwork isn't ready unless—" "Unless what?" "Unless he had a backup plan." I start pacing. He knew there was a chance I'd discover the truth. He must have prepared for it. Claire's fingers fly across her keyboard. "The system shows a lot of late-night activity in the legal department last week. Documents being accessed, printed." Another text from Grayson. "Peyton just arrived at Felix's office. Something's happening." My hands curl into fists. Of course she's with him, probably helping him destroy evidence right now. The thought of them together, laughing at how easily they fooled me. "I need to get into that office," I say. Claire looks up sharply. "Tonight? That's crazy." "Felix will be at dinner with the board members. Peyton never stays past 8, and I still have my access card." The plan forms as I speak. "The evidence we need will be there. It has to be. And if you're caught, then I'll have proof I was never the naive bride they thought I was." I grab my coat. "Are you with me?" Claire closes her laptop. "Someone has to keep you from doing anything too stupid." She stands. "But first, we need to make a stop." "Where?" "Your apartment. The one Felix doesn't know about." I stare at her. "How did you—" "Please, I helped you set it up last year when things started feeling wrong. You might have talked yourself out of your suspicions, but your instincts were right. She heads for the door. And I'm betting that's where you kept the real records of everything Felix asked you to sign. For the first time since the wedding, I feel a spark of hope. Maybe I wasn't as blind as I thought. Maybe some part of me was preparing for this all along. Amy? Claire's voice softens. We're going to destroy him. Not just stop him, destroy him. And when we're done, Peyton's going down too. I think of my cousin's face in that back office, the way she reached for me, like she had any right to offer comfort. The rage I've been suppressing bubbles up, hot and clarifying. Yes, I say, we are. We leave the hotel room together, my step-by-step transformation from victim to victor already beginning. Felix taught me how to play the game. Now it's time to show him how well I learned. The familiar weight of my office keycard feels different now, like a weapon instead of a key. Claire and I stand in the empty parking garage, watching the last board members file into Giovanni's restaurant across the street. Felix is among them, laughing at something, his hand on Peyton's lower back as he guides her inside. Ready, Claire whispers. I nod, though my heart is thundering. We've been through the plan a dozen times. Get in, access Felix's private server, download everything, get out. Simple. The elevator requires 2 forms of authentication now. Something new. I swipe my card, but the second prompt makes me freeze. He changed the codes. I breathe. Claire pulls out her phone. Try 526. What's that? Peyton's birthday. Her voice is gentle. He's been using it for everything lately. I noticed when I was in the system earlier. The numbers taste like poison as I punch them in. The elevator lights up green. We ride up in silence, my mind spinning with this new detail. How many other signs did I miss? How many times did he practically flaunt their relationship, knowing I'd explain it away? The executive floor is dark, except for the motion sensor lights that flicker on as we move. Felix's office door looms ahead, his name gleaming in gold letters. I reach for the handle and freeze. There's light under the door. Someone's inside. Claire pulls me back around the corner just as the door opens. Footsteps echo in the hallway, then a familiar voice. No, listen to me. Grayson. The vote has to be delayed. Because I said so, that's why. Fine, I'll handle it myself. He walks past our hiding spot, phone pressed to his ear, not noticing us in the shadows. We wait until the elevator doors close behind him. What was he doing here? Claire whispers. I don't know, but something feels wrong. Why wouldn't Grayson tell me he was coming to the office? We slip into Felix's office. Everything looks different in the dark, sinister. I head straight for his computer, while Claire keeps watch. The desktop unlocks with Peyton's birthday again. Bile rises in my throat as I start searching through files. Most are encrypted, but there's a folder labeled Wedding that opens easily. My hands shake as I read. These aren't wedding plans. They're detailed notes about my family's company, financial weaknesses, pressure points, personal secrets he could exploit. Amy, Claire calls softly. Someone's coming. I quickly plug in the flash drive, start copying files. The progress bar crawls. 15%. 20%. Voices in the hallway. Getting closer. Hide! Claire hisses, ducking behind a filing cabinet. I slide under the desk, just as the door opens. It's fine, Peyton's voice. Felix is still at dinner. I just need to grab something. Hurry up, a male voice. Grayson. And make sure you get everything. We can't risk. I know how to do my job, Peyton snaps. I've been managing this operation longer than you have. The progress bar hits 60% as footsteps approach the desk. I hold my breath, praying the computer's hum isn't as loud as it seems. Found it! Papers shuffling above me. Felix said Amy's been asking questions about the offshore accounts. If she connects the dots. She won't, Grayson says. She's too emotional right now, too focused on the betrayal. By the time she thinks clearly, it'll be too late. My blood turns to ice. Grayson isn't helping me. He's working with them. Has been all along. The progress bar hits 90% as they move toward the door. Make sure everything's ready for tomorrow, Peyton says. Once the vote goes through. Their voices fade down the hallway. I wait until Claire gives the all clear before emerging, legs shaking. Did you get it? She asks. I pull out the flash drive, now full of evidence, but not the evidence I expected. I got something better. I turn to her, mind racing. We need to call Matthew. Your ex? Why? Because he works for the SEC, and what I just found goes way beyond corporate theft. I grip the flash drive tighter. They're running a massive fraud scheme. All of them. Felix, Peyton, and Grayson. Grayson, Claire breathes. He played you. No. I straighten my shoulders, cold clarity replacing shock. He underestimated me. They all did. They thought I was just the naive fiancé, too blinded by love to see the truth. And now? I think of Felix's laugh as he entered the restaurant, of Peyton's casual confidence in his office, of Grayson's fake concern. Each betrayal should hurt, but instead, they fuel something harder, sharper. Now, I say, they're going to learn exactly how dangerous a woman with nothing left to lose can be. Matthew's apartment is exactly as I remember. Organized chaos of legal papers and coffee mugs. He looks the same too, just more tired as he scrolls through the files I brought him. This is... He rubs his eyes. Amy, this is huge. We're talking international money laundering, tax evasion, securities fraud. Can you help? I watch his face carefully. 2 years ago, I chose Felix over Matthew, convinced I was trading up. The irony isn't lost on me. Officially, I need to report this immediately. He sets down his laptop. Unofficially, give me 12 hours before you do anything else. Claire shifts on the couch beside me. We don't have 12 hours. The board votes tomorrow morning. The vote is just their cover, I say. The real damage is already done. They've been moving money offshore for months. The merger is just... My phone buzzes. Peyton's name appears on the screen. Before I can decline, Claire grabs it. Put it on speaker, she says. Let's hear what story she's selling. I answer. What do you want? Amy, thank God. Peyton's voice breaks. Please, you have to listen. Felix, he's not who you think. None of this was supposed to happen like this. Save it. No, you don't understand. He's dangerous. The things he made me do. She's crying now. I wanted to tell you so many times, but he threatened to... To what? The rage I've been containing bubbles over. To expose how you helped him steal from my family? To reveal how long you've been sleeping with my fiancé? He's going to kill me. The words hang in the air. Matthew straightens, lawyer instincts kicking in. What are you talking about? I ask. I found something. Proof of what he did to his last partner. The accident wasn't an accident. Her voice drops. I'm at the Riverside Hotel, room 512. Please, I know I don't deserve your help, but... The line goes dead. It's a trap, Claire says immediately. Obviously. But something in Peyton's voice nags at me. What did she mean about Felix's last partner? Matthew's already typing. Thomas Reed died in a car crash last year when his brakes failed. The investigation found... He stops. Oh, God. He turns the screen toward me. The police report shows photos of mangled brakes, cut clean through. That's not all, Matthew continues. Reed was about to expose financial irregularities in the company. He died the day before he was supposed to meet with investigators. My hands start shaking. Grayson knew. That's why he approached me. Why he's playing both sides. He's trying to survive. Amy, Claire grabs my arm. You're not actually considering going to that hotel. But I am. Because under the anger, under the betrayal, there's a truth I can't ignore. Peyton might be lying, but if she's not, I have to know. Then I'm coming with you, Matthew says, grabbing his keys. No, I stand. If this is a trap, I need you both clear of it. Matthew, get that evidence to your SEC contacts. Claire, go to my mother. Make her understand what's really happening. And you'll what? Walk into a potential murder scene alone? I think of Felix's casual cruelty in the back office, of Grayson's calculated manipulation, of Peyton's tears that might or might not be real. I'm done being the victim in their story. I head for the door. It's time they learned they're actually in mine. Amy, wait! Matthew catches my hand. The familiar callus on his thumb brings back a flood of memories. Lazy Sunday mornings, honest conversations, simple trust. Whatever you find there, don't let it change who you are. I'm not sure I know who that is anymore. I do. He squeezes my hand once before letting go. You're the woman who always chose truth over comfort, even when it hurt. Claire joins us at the door. Promise you'll call if anything feels wrong. Anything. I hug them both quickly, not trusting myself to speak. Then I step into the night, toward whatever waits at the Riverside Hotel. My phone buzzes again as I get in my car. A text from Felix. I know where you are, what you found. Don't be stupid, Amy. Some stories don't have happy endings. I start the engine, his threat settling like ice in my veins. He's right about one thing. This story won't have a happy ending. But it will have justice, whatever that costs. The Riverside Hotel looms ahead, its windows gleaming like warning lights in the dark. I park across the street, watching people come and go through the revolving doors. Any of them could be Felix's eyes. Room 512. If Peyton's telling the truth, she's up there with evidence that could put Felix away for murder. If she's lying, I'm walking into a trap. Both options terrify me for different reasons. My phone lights up with a text from Claire. Matthew's contact at the SEC is reviewing the files. Be careful. The lobby is deserted, except for a bored-looking receptionist. I head straight for the elevators, projecting confidence I don't feel. 5th floor. The doors open to empty hallway. 511. 512. I pause, listening. No sounds from inside. I knock softly. Peyton? The door opens immediately. Peyton stands there, mascara streaked down her face, clutching a manila envelope. Thank God. I wasn't sure you'd come. Show me. She hands me the envelope with shaking hands. Inside are photos, surveillance shots of Felix meeting with someone in a parking garage. The date stamp shows last year, the day before Thomas Reed died. There's more. Peyton pulls out her phone, plays an audio file. Felix's voice fills the room. Reed's becoming a problem. Yes, exactly like we discussed. Make it look like an accident. My stomach lurches. Why are you showing me this? Because he's going to do it again. She sinks onto the bed. I heard him talking to Grayson. They know you have evidence of the fraud. They're planning. She breaks off, sobbing. I should feel something. Anger, hatred, pity. Instead, I'm oddly calm. When did you figure it out? About Reed? A month ago. I found the photos in Felix's safe when I was... She stops, guilt flashing across her face. When you were in his bedroom? The words should hurt, but they don't. That's why you've been acting strange lately. Not guilt about betraying me. Fear of him. A noise in the hallway makes us both jump. Footsteps approaching. We need to go, Peyton whispers. Felix has someone watching the hotel. Of course he does. I move to the window, peek through the curtains. A black SUV idles below. You called him, didn't you? She freezes. What? This whole thing, the tears, the evidence, the warning, it's another setup. I turn to face her. You're not afraid of Felix. You're working with him. Amy, no. The photos are real, the audio too. But you didn't find them a month ago. You've known all along. The pieces click into place. That's why you got close to Felix in the first place. Not because you wanted him, because you needed access to help him cover up Reed's murder. The footsteps stop outside the door. Peyton's face changes, fear replaced by something harder. You always were too smart for your own good. She pulls out her phone. Felix? She figured it out. The door bursts open. 2 men in suits enter, followed by Grayson. I really wished you'd stayed gone, he says. Run away, lick your wounds, start over. But no, you had to play detective. Like you played concerned friend? I back toward the window. Was any of it real? The help I offered was real. This could have ended differently. He nods to the men. Take her phone. We need to make this look right. One man reaches for me. I dodge, but the other grabs my arm. My phone clatters to the floor. The SEC already has everything, I say, fighting their grip. Matthew's making sure of that. Matthew? Peyton laughs. Your ex? The same one Felix paid off months ago to bury evidence? The world tilts. No. Why do you think he never reported the irregularities he found during the merger review? Grayson asks. Everyone has a price, Amy, even your moral compass of an ex. The men force me into a chair. Grayson picks up my phone, starts typing. A final message to Claire, he explains, telling her you're sorry, that the guilt was too much. Then a tragic accident on the way to the airport. Like Reed's accident? Cleaner. We learned from that mistake. I look at Peyton, see nothing of my cousin in her eyes. Just ambition and calculation. A mirror of Felix. He'll betray you too, I tell her. When you're no longer useful, something flickers in her expression. Doubt? Fear? Before I can be sure, the door opens again. Felix walks in, straightening his tie. Hello, darling. We need to talk about your timing. I meet his eyes, seeing him clearly at last. Not the man I loved, the monster he always was. Yes, I say, let's talk. Felix dismisses his men with a wave, leaving just us, Peyton, and Grayson in the hotel room. He looks exactly as he did this morning, when I thought I was going to marry him. The same perfectly pressed suit, the same confident smile. Only now I see the predator beneath. You know what amazes me? He perches on the desk, casual as if we're having a normal conversation. How long you ignored the obvious. I practically dared you to catch us, and still you made excuses. Because I loved you. No, because you loved the idea of me. The successful businessman who chose you, who made you feel special. His smile turns cruel. That's why this was so easy. Your desperation to believe the fairy tale made you blind. My hands clench in my lap. Like Reed was blind? Thomas made the same mistake you did. Thought he could play hero. Felix sighs. Some people just can't accept that business is business. Is that what this is? Business? Everything's business, Amy. Love, loyalty, family, they're commodities. Peyton understood that. My cousin won't meet my eyes. She's staring at her phone, shoulders tense. Speaking of business, Grayson interrupts. We need to handle this quickly. The board meets in 6 hours. Felix nods. Of course. Amy, here's what's going to happen. You're going to send some concerning texts, take a drive, have an unfortunate accident. Very sad, very tragic. And if I refuse, then instead of you, it'll be Claire, or your mother, or maybe that sweet barista you chat with every morning. He leans closer. I've spent 2 years learning exactly what matters to you. Don't make me use that knowledge. The threat hits like a physical blow. But something else catches my attention. Peyton's sharp intake of breath at the mention of 2 years. She didn't know how long he'd been planning this. You're right, I say quietly. I was desperate to believe the fairy tale, but you made a mistake too. Oh? You thought my love made me weak. It made me strong. I meet his eyes. Strong enough to do this. I hit play on my phone, the one hidden in my jacket pocket. The one that's been recording since I walked in. My actual phone lies silent on the floor where they dropped it. Felix's earlier words fill the room. Like Reed's accident, cleaner. We learned from that mistake. Grayson lunges for me, but freezes at the sound of sirens outside. Red and blue lights flash through the window. That recording went live to Claire the moment you started talking, I say. And Claire's been with the FBI for the last hour. Felix's composure cracks. You're bluffing. Like you bluffed about Matthew? He never took your money. In fact, he's the one who helped me set this up. I stand slowly. You were so busy watching for the SEC, you missed the federal investigation completely. Footsteps thunder down the hallway. Felix reaches into his jacket, but Peyton moves faster. She grabs his arm, twisting until something clatters to the floor. A gun. Peyton? His shock mirrors my own. 2 years, she spits. You let me think this was about the merger, about money. You never told me about Reed. The door bursts open. FBI agents flood the room, weapons drawn. Felix and Grayson are forced to their knees, handcuffed with mechanical precision. Amy! Peyton's voice breaks. I didn't know about Reed. You have to believe. Stop. I'm too tired for her excuses. You may not have known everything, but you knew enough. We both have to live with that. As they're led away, Felix catches my eye one last time. You really think this changes anything? People like me always win in the end. No. I hold up my phone, still recording. People like you just think you're winning until someone loves themselves enough to stop you. Claire appears in the doorway, flanked by Matthew and federal agents. She runs to me, pulling me into a fierce hug. You stupid, brilliant, terrifying woman, she whispers. Don't ever do anything like that again. Did you get everything? I ask Matthew. He nods. The recording, the surveillance footage, the offshore accounts. It's over. They're going away for a long time. I look around the hotel room, at the evidence of my old life scattered across the floor. The engagement ring I'd returned, the wedding photos Felix kept as trophies, the trust I'd given so freely. Amy? Matthew touches my shoulder gently. You okay? I think of Felix's words about love making me blind. He was wrong. Love, real love, from Claire and Matthew, for myself, had finally helped me see. No, I answer honestly. But I will be. Outside, the city glows with pre-dawn light. A new day, a new beginning, and this time, I'm wide awake for it. The morning sun streams through my office window, catching on the brass nameplate that now reads, Chief Executive Officer. I'm reviewing acquisition proposals when my assistant buzzes. Your mother's here. I take a deep breath. Send her in. Danielle enters, impeccably dressed as always, but something's different. The iron control that defined my childhood is cracked. The board meeting went well, she says, hovering by the door. The vote was unanimous. I know, I was there. She fidgets with her purse strap. Amy, about everything that happened, I should have. Stop. I stand, walking to the window. I'm not interested in apologies. I need to know if you're ready to work with me or against me. Work with you? The company's expanding. We're acquiring 3 of Felix's former subsidiaries at pennies on the dollar. I need someone who understands the old guard, who can help smooth the transition. I turn to face her. But I need to trust them completely. Understanding dawns in her eyes. You're offering me a job? I'm offering you a chance, like the one you should have given me. Before she can respond, Claire bursts in, waving a newspaper. Have you seen this? Peyton took a plea deal. She's testifying against Felix and Grayson. My mother stiffens at her niece's name. I take the paper, scan the headline. Corporate fraud case expands. New evidence reveals deeper conspiracy. There's more, Claire says. The FBI found connections to 3 other accidents before Reed. They're reopening all the cases. I think of Peyton's face that night in the hotel room, the moment she realized the true depth of Felix's crimes. Send her legal team everything we have. Full cooperation. After what she did to you? My mother demands. Because of what she did to me. I set down the paper. She chose wrong, then chose right too late. But she chose. That matters. Claire squeezes my hand, understanding. She's been my rock through everything. The federal investigation, the company restructuring, the nights when the weight of it all felt crushing. The board's waiting in the conference room, she reminds me gently. Time to announce the new direction. My mother straightens. I should go. Actually, I say, I'd like you to stay. If you're interested in that position, this would be a good meeting to attend. She blinks rapidly, nods. As we walk to the conference room, I feel the ghost of my former self, the woman who would have done anything to earn her mother's approval. She's still part of me, but no longer in control. The board members rise as we enter. These are not the same people who almost let Felix steal everything. Most of those faces are gone, replaced by people I've chosen carefully, vetted thoroughly. Trust, but verify. My new motto. Before we begin, Matthew says from his seat as legal counsel, there's one last piece of business from the old regime. He slides a document across the table. Felix's final appeal was denied this morning. It's really over. The room erupts in congratulations, but I barely hear them. Over. Such a simple word for such a complex truth. Amy, Claire prompts. Your announcement? I stand, feeling the weight of every eye, every expectation. 6 months ago, this company almost fell to corruption and fraud. Not because one man was clever, but because too many people chose comfort over courage, easy lies over hard truths. My mother shifts in her seat. I continue. Today, we announce a new ethics division with complete autonomy and direct board access. Claire will head it, with full authority to investigate any concern, no matter how small. Murmurs of approval ripple through the room. This is what they expect. Corporate responsibility, checks and balances, lessons learned. But that's not the real announcement. I meet each gaze in turn. The real announcement is this. I'm not my father's daughter, trying to preserve his legacy. I'm not Felix's ex-fiancé, proving I'm stronger than his betrayal. I'm not even the woman who brought down a murderer. I pause, feeling the truth of what comes next. I'm the woman who learned that love, real love, isn't blind. It sees everything, even the hard parts, and chooses anyway. That's how I'll run this company. That's how I'll live my life. My mother's eyes shine with tears. Claire grins. Matthew nods slowly. Now, I say, opening my laptop, let's talk about the future. Because that's the thing about fairy tales. The interesting part isn't the happily ever after. It's what happens when you finally wake up and choose your own ending.